Welcome to the Fast Mode podcast series. I'm Tara Neil, and with me today is Jim Eckes, CEO and co-founder TieTechnology. TieTechnology is a communication and IT solutions provider specializing in VoIP systems, managed IT services, and tailored solutions for small and medium-sized businesses. Founded on the principles of innovation and unmatched customer service, TieTechnology empowers businesses to thrive with cutting-edge tools and support. Welcome, Jim. Great to have you on today's episode.
Thank you so much, Tara. I really appreciate being here. This is something that we wanted to do for a long time, so I definitely appreciate you having us on.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we have got like a very interesting topic. A lot of people may feel that this is a generic one, but it has become very relevant today because of the level of technology adoption that we are seeing. So the first question is, why is there such a disconnect between new technology adoption and actual customer experience?
Well, that's a great question, but I think that goes back to the last part of the question, which is the customer experience. Because what's been
Mm-hmm.
happening, and this happens all the time, right? Businesses they scramble to adopt this new technology that's out there. In this case, it's AI, and they really haven't fixed the core issue, which is horrific customer service or bad customer communication and systems that just don't talk to each other. So I think once that gets resolved, you'll be able to implement an AI solution because it's coming. I mean, if you think about the amount of money that's being poured into the AI space now, there will be some semblance of AI in every walk of life that we do. It's not a question of if, it's just a matter of when, and
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, where.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
and I think as most companies, they they really don't treat the phone system and the CRM platform that they use that houses customer data. I don't think that they view that as one of the same, or should be, in our opinion, they should be viewing it as one of the same. So basically what happens is that you get customers that call in and you have no idea who's on the phone until that
Mm-hmm.
customer is on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you have that interaction already taking place, you're in our opinion, you're behind the eight ball, because you could potentially have an already aggravated customer on the line, and now
Yep.
you have to get their account number, you have to find their name in the system. And I mean, think about it. How many times have you called into somewhere and they said, "Oh my God, my system is running so slow"? Well, now I'm
Mm-hmm.
already angry because I've been waiting on hold, and now you're telling me, in effect, that you're using a substandard system to house my information to find me. I have absolutely no belief that you're going to be able to help me. So we're already starting off with a negative with the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what needs to change before we could really adopt a new way of doing business or implementing AI into everyday life.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You know what? You basically hit the nail on its head because among all the technologies that we see today, I think AI, especially in the last 2 years, everyone's talking about AI, and they are right to do so because basically there are no systems where AI won't benefit. But then, like you pointed out, there's a huge dilemma here, as in to how do we proceed with this technology. And basically it's not just about embracing, like you just mentioned, you just rush in and then buy a module or buy an app and integrate it so that you have AI capabilities, but really mapping it to customer experience. And like what you said, I totally agree because what happens is you wait for so long to speak to a customer care representative, and then what they do, they put you on hold again because they are now talking to someone else or trying to find your information, and really it becomes very tedious. I think to a point, like people like us, we really try to avoid calling, because of this experience.
100%. And it's in every industry, right? And in an environment where we all have to operate in, where it's higher cost, less service, you it doesn't matter what industry you're calling. You want to make sure that you're getting what you're paying for. And if there is something wrong, I don't want to have to call and wait 15 minutes on the phone. I said this the other day to a customer when we were implementing some of our services to them, and I said, well, we had an instance where we called in with the customer on the phone and we waited 11 minutes. So now I have a customer that does $25 million in revenue. They waited 11 minutes to get on the call with customer support. And the first thing that the support rep said to me, now keep in mind, we were calling over what amounted to, like, it was like a $14 issue on the invoice. And she said, hold on, I'm just putting the notes in from my last call. So now I'm 11 minutes in. The first thing that you say to
Oh,
me
I
is,
can't
hold on.
believe that.
Right.
Oh my
So
God.
we were horrified. Now, the funny thing is that the laugh that, and it's not, but I mean, if you think about, time is time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you're not getting any value for your time, why am I doing business with you? But we
Mm-hmm.
had a chuckle afterwards because the service that we provide to the actual customer, it records, transcribes, summarizes, and puts into their CRM the information from the call. And I don't even have to, as the user, they don't even have to go back and look at it. It just gets inputted into the CRM, and then they can go on to the next call. So now instead of taking a scenario where you could have had a customer that could have been off the phone in 14 minutes, right? Because now we're waiting
Mm-hmm.
11 and it takes them, we have a situation where I'm already mad. Now there's a $14 discrepancy on the invoice, and it's already cost me a measurable amount of time and money to get this off my invoice. It's not worth it for me to do business with them. So yeah, we got a good laugh at that, but that's what's going on within the customer service industry. Is this is what runs rampant. It's, let me pull up your account, or let me do this, or let me do that, not, hey, Tara, how are you? How can I help you today? Right. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be in order for customers to feel like they are getting
Mm-hmm.
value for their money.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, where AI comes into play is that, you mentioned about, the system transcribing the conversation, right? So it basically picks all the keywords and I guess it summarizes the case and all that. So is that where AI comes in to basically maybe find those keywords and build a case for this so that, there are notes for the customer care representative to refer?
Well, it certainly can, and it certainly should. If you think about the capabilities of what AI, what it can do, right? Why wouldn't we take a conversation that lasted, what could be, our in that instance, it lasted wound up lasting another 9 minutes. But why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't we want AI to do that if it can do that? There's certain things that AI can do absolutely, it's magic, right? If you think about how it gets done, it's absolute magic. And then
It
there's
is.
other
It
things that
is.
it just can't do just yet. And I think
Mm-hmm.
once that disconnect between the customer relationship, the customer, the client data, and how that interacts with a real live user, that's when that's when AI can really be implemented within the CX space, because it just isn't there yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, we are talking about the topic of, integrating the phone systems with customer data, right? And then, let's talk a little bit more about that. Well, some vendors would promise a lot of flashy features and stuff like that. So, do you think that we should really focus on the integration bit first before we move on to other, other add-on features?
Without a doubt. And I'll give you another great example. I mean, you pronounce my last name absolutely flawlessly, so thank you for doing that. But if you think about, like, my last name is Eckes, and try saying, when you're calling your doctor's office looking to set a doctor appointment, something that should be super, super simple and not take a whole lot of time, but try saying Eckes over a cell phone while you're driving in traffic, and then now the poor girl at the front desk has to now find your information, and hopefully she spells it correctly. Where
Mm-hmm.
when you have the integration between the phone system and the CRM, what winds up happening is that my call that comes in it's not a struggle to type in what my last name is, or can you repeat that, or oh my God, my system is running slow. It is, hey Jim, how are you? Are you setting an appointment for? Are you setting another appointment for Peyton, Kara, Tyler, or Kyle? And it's that simple. And you're off the phone, and it makes the whole experience very, very easy and very, very easy to talk about. So instead of you having that, oh my God, I got to call in and I got to do this, it's I just call, they know who I am. And that's what people are looking for. So until we fix that, until that gets resolved, and that really is, it's a matter of taking the data that is in the CRM and tying it into the phone system. Until we can do that, you can't move on to the next level, because the customer is not being taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. So, you won't be like, you mentioned your name and, so you won't have the case where you start saying E for England and C for China and K for Kenya just to spell out your
Exactly.
name,
So,
right?
right. So
That's
now I
what,
got to go
that's
through
what
the
everybody
military
does.
alphabet for you to know who I am. I don't want to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we
With
and I'll give you a
that.
great example. We did a local customer down by us in Sarasota, and when we were sitting down and going over all of their needs, I heard their salespeople say, can I have your last name, your phone number, or your account number?
Mm-hmm.
And what wound up happening was it was about 45 seconds before you got into the ability to take the order. And I was kind of
Mm-hmm.
horrified, because it was the type of business that it was. It needed to be a personal touch type of thing. So what wound up happening was is that the calls would come in and they ask those questions, and now you have somebody on the other side just not being able to hear correctly. So what
Mm-hmm.
we showed them was a way that we can cut out 45 seconds into the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And what wound up happening was is that on the inbound call, the account instantly pops up with the transcription of their last order, basically. And so
Mm-hmm.
now the phone call goes, hey Jim, how are you? Thank you for calling such and such flowers. Are you calling to reorder? Are you calling to reorder flowers again for your wife? Now, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who you are, where you are, or what business you're in. If you're able to take that level of detail and spit it back to the customer on an inbound call, not only are you getting repeat business, but every person that they deal with and they talk about, because these conversations happen. Oh my God, I had to call this place. It was a nightmare. I had to call this place. It was a nightmare. Well, I
Yep.
don't have that. I don't have that problem, right? I called in,
Mm-hmm.
they knew who I was, and they had me off the phone in less than 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That not only gets repeat business, but that gets referral business. And that's business that's being missed. And they don't even realize, these businesses don't even realize that that business is being missed, because of
Mm-hmm.
the perception that it gives off, that we know who you are and we're going to take care of you. And
Yeah.
that's what's missing in today's CX environment, is that
Mm-hmm.
whole entire experience. And it boils down to how quickly can you get to customer data, and how
Mm-hmm.
quickly can you get the customer off the phone feeling satisfied.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right because sometimes the whole identification process, if it's too lengthy and they're asking too many questions, like customers would feel that they are being verified upon, like that the business is doubting if that's the real person or you are just like maybe scamming the company. So it gives you a bad taste. It's like I'm just calling in to put an order, and what you are doing is only trying to verify me, asking me to repeat my name and repeat my numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, it really, basically impacts the experience. So, talking about that, how is Thai technology helping bridge this CX gap, with your solutions? So, what do you guys bring to the market?
So what we've built and what we've designed is the soft phone that we've developed. It's the Genie soft phone, and basically what it will do is that it will basically interact with and integrate in with any CRM platform in the world out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And now, yes, there are a couple that we probably can't do, but for the most part, we can pretty much do any CRM platform out there. So what it allows you to do is simply download the soft phone, Once we set up your account, you download it, and now inbound calls instantly integrate into your CRM for screen pops, note taking, and transcription, call recording, all of that good stuff that now allows you to operate in the manner as we were just describing.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe not now, but in the future, is it able to basically pull information from other touch points, like maybe the business WhatsApp account? Is there are there any other capabilities? So you basically can, in at a glance, learn about all the interactions that have taken place with this particular customer.
So what we're going to be able to do is our software will be able to utilize AI so that we can pull data from all sorts of input points.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, now what we've basically developed is it's almost like a call trigger that provides instant screen pops for all customer history. So what's going to happen is that calls come in, screen pop
Mm-hmm.
just pops right
Mm-hmm.
onto the screen so that the customer's information is right there. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to take that information down, the account numbers, you don't have to request that information. And as
Okay.
we develop the software into AI, what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the other areas in which that data is out there within their CRM. So we'll be able to pull
Okay.
as much data as they actually put into their CRM to give back to the customer.
Wow. And then I guess, for customers, they can basically customize what the customer care representatives see on their screen, right? What is the type of information that they would want? I guess all the fields and all that. You allow some sort of flexibility in that.
Yep. So what happens is that on the setup of the Genie app, what we're going to do is the administrator will basically determine as we go through the whole entire process with them, they'll determine what they want the CX agent to see on that inbound call. In most cases, right, it's going to be name, caller ID, account number, and or the summarization of the last call that they took, and that usually will help them get to where they need to get to pretty quickly, and it happens before the first ring even hits your ear. So once that call comes in, it automatically pops on your screen if that's who it is. Once you select OK, now you have all of that data right in front of you.
Wow. So imagine that, you have all the data and you also have sort of like the ratings that the customer care representative gave for the customer in terms of their experience dealing with the person. So it really prepares the agent, to better deal with a customer, right?
Well, Tara, what it really does is if you really think about it and you take this in a bigger perspective, I mean, you have all of these businesses that are out there. You go down any street in America, and that is somebody's dream. That's somebody's hope. At some point in time, they said they came up with a great idea and said, "Hey, I can do this better than XYZ company," right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
they're all in competition for the same dollars. And whether that's the small business that's out there or the huge giant, the giant
Yep.
corporations,
Mm-hmm,
they're all fighting for the same dollar. And
mm-hmm,
the huge corporations have access to money that the small businesses are only hoping to get to. And so
mm-hmm.
what the Genie app really does for them, it allows their employees to be more productive by
Yep.
giving them customer data at their fingertips immediately by creating an almost an unmatched personalized service that allows them to compete with these big companies, because you know as well as I do, when you call one of these big companies, you're going to get a guy named Steve, and he's going to be very sorry for the inconvenience, and he's in India, and unfortunately that's not what customers want to deal with on in today's world.
Yep.
But the
Yep.
reason why that takes place is because it's cheaper to do that. Now, if I was able to provide you with a customer service solution in a box or on a soft phone that would be able to create a scenario where customer service was done easier and faster because of the amount of data that I can give to you prior to you having to search it, well, then that creates a happier customer. That creates a better solution for you as a business owner, because now you're servicing your customers better than these large corporations. And even
Mm-hmm.
if it's more money, I'm going to gravitate back to you because I feel like you care about me, and you're providing me something what these other companies aren't. That's what
Hmm.
Genie really does for the customers.
And I guess, eventually there'll be lots of cost savings, not just for the customer, but for the businesses as well, right? Because you're not going to spend a lot of time investigating, putting people on hold, on trying to transfer the call to someone else because you just don't have this information with you. So I guess, it's something that's going to have really good financial implications in the long run.
Oh, we think that it's right now, unfortunately, right now, it can't even be measured, right? Because the phone system and the CRMs, they're not tied together in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
once you tie those two together, now you have, I mean, think about it. Before we even tie them together, as a business owner, I have to hire somebody. I have to then train them on how to use the CRM. And then all of that takes time, takes energy. Now I have to train them on how to use the phones. There's time and effort that goes into that. With Genie, the call just pops up right onto your screen and it's instant into your CRM. There's no training that needs to take place. And that's just at that level. And
Mm-hmm.
forget about talking about how much repeat business that you're going to get or referral business that you're going to get because of the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you're creating a personalized experience that
Yep.
just, you know this as well as I do. And to every person that you speak to, it just doesn't exist out there anymore. it's
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's the forgotten art that, it used to be customer service was, oh my god, their customer service is fantastic. But now you think about it, any place that you have to call customer care, you get an eye roll and you go, oh god, I got to call customer support,
Yep.
because you're going to get some guy in India or you're going to get some
Yep.
guy in the Philippines. And it's
Yes.
just unfortunate that that's where we are in the world. But this resolves a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
because of the time that it takes to get the information. You create a happier customer.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I guess, yeah, we basically really looked at some of the very important things that, businesses should be aware of. And I think this is one capability that they should really, integrate with their CRM. So I guess, yeah, with that, we have come to the end of our session. So thank you, Jim, for joining us and for
Thank you so
sharing
much.
and for sharing, these brilliant insights on the importance of, merging customer experience with the CRM systems.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tara, for having us. And yeah, we'd love to come back. So anytime we can do this, I love talking about how we can help customers, how we can help businesses streamline their operations and be better. So absolutely. Thanks so much.
Awesome. And well, to everyone tuning in, thank you guys for listening. If you want to learn more, visit TieTechnology.com. That is spelled as TIE, technology.com. And follow us for more updates and insights as we continue to uncover the latest in technology and telecommunications. See you in our next session. Bye bye.